What's good, everybody? What's going on? I want to go ahead and talk about the week 2 results from the top 10 teams in college football. And let's go ahead and begin. Let's start with Notre Dame. They beat NC State 45-24. That game pretty much went the way I thought it would. It would be close at first, and then they would pull away in the second half. And that's exactly what they did, because NC State, like I said plenty of times, they tend to play top teams pretty good at home for some reason. Whether they win or lose, they play their best. It seems like when a top 10 team or any top team comes in a stadium, and it's always close, and then you have to pull away late from them. So that's what they did. And they also had to win that game with a rain delay. You know how hard it is to go out and play in the rain, have to leave and come back out and kind of redo everything again. So they got the win, so big ups to Notre Dame. Number 9, Tennessee, 30-13 on Austin Peay. Now, this game, it wasn't as much points as everybody thought. It wasn't as much points as I thought. I could have sworn that Tennessee was just going to, go up, score like 40-some points in the first half, and then, let the backups and the freshmen, get their playing time. But they ain't quite worked that way. But big ups to Austin Peay, not letting it be as easy as they thought it was going to be. So, Tennessee, they got some games coming up. Of course, they got Florida coming. So, hey, they got some things they got to tighten up before they play Florida. Number 8, Washington Huskies. Now, they beat Tulsa 43-10. Not as bad as I thought it would be, but they still played a solid game. Big ups to Tulsa for playing a decent game. I could have sworn Washington was going to score way more points than that, but it was a good game nonetheless. Number 7, Penn State. Now, this game did quite go the way I thought it would go. Actually, they scored more points than I thought it would, and they dominated 63-7 over Delaware. Penn State looking real good right now. I think this might be the team to beat in the Big Ten. I've been saying that. We'll see how it goes. Now, number 6, USC 56-10 over Stanford. The reason I said that in my prediction video that this could go, it depends, because Stanford, they tend to play a lot of good games against USC, no matter what their record is, and it's either close or they end up getting upset. But I figured that wasn't going to be the case this year, and that didn't happen. So big up to USC. Defense looking good. Look like they got everything tightened up. Number 5, Ohio State 35-7 over Youngstown State. And a lot of people thought they would score more points and be more dominant, but y'all got to understand, you're still working with a new quarterback. He still got to get comfortable back there, and I'm sure he'll play better as the season go on. But right now, it's just going to be some growing pains. You just got to go. It's just what it is. You got to have some growing pains sometimes. But I'm sure he'll play better. They got the receivers. They can score the points. It's just about putting it all together. So we'll see how it go for Ohio State as the season goes on. Number 4, Florida State 66. Southern Miss 13. That game went pretty much how I thought it would go. No surprises there. Florida State doing their thing. All of a sudden now, Florida State Miami look like it could be a good game all of a sudden, with Miami beating Texas A&M. So we'll see. Nobody wasn't really talking about that until now, since Miami beat Texas A&M. So we'll see how it go, and we'll see how that go. And that's something to look forward to now, way more than when the season started. So we'll see how it go. Number 3, Alabama. They lost to Texas 24-34. I had Alabama winning because they was at home. I had them winning because they was at home. And I thought the quarterback would play, I thought all he had to do a lot of play action. I knew he was going to use his legs, but I figured the run game would be a little better for Alabama as far as, making it easy for him, so that way he wouldn't have to make as many throws. But it didn't go that way, and Texas got the win, and they're a good team. They got a good defensive line. A lot of people saying Alabama wasn't blocking. I don't think that's the case. I just think that's the case is Texas got a good defense now. They got a defensive line to go with that offense. So, hey, man, Texas look like they might be a team in the playoffs. But we'll see, man. Got a long season to go. They still got to play Oklahoma. So we'll see how the season go with that. Number 2, Michigan, 35-7 over UNLV. I didn't expect Michigan to score a lot of points. They're a grinded out type team. They more physical. You don't expect them to put a whole bunch of points up. They just like to run the ball, not turn the ball over, which is so. With them only beating UNLV 35-7 is not surprising to me because, you know, they're not trying to really get points like that. They're going to play great defense, run the football, which means they're going to run the clock and win the time of possession. That's a good formula to win some games. So Michigan do what they do best, just being physical. Now, number 1 Georgia. They won 45-3 over Ball State. But, you know, they still started off kind of slow, and it's going to be some growing pains. I know Carson Beck, he's talented, but it's still going to be some growing pains. I mean, the running back position is just, they got to run the football. At the end of the day, if anything I see out of Georgia, they got to run the football. I think the passing game is going to be good, or it's going to get better, but the run game got to get better, man. I'm just not seeing nothing there. But at the same time, they got to win 45-3. Muse, I mean, he's looking good right now. He's catching it. He run. I mean, when he get the ball, I know everybody get excited as soon as he touches the ball. So I'm not just saying he's not the only one. I mean, everybody doing anything on defense, and it's just that front seven. They only got 1 sack so far. They didn't get no sacks against Ball State. So I don't know what's going on with that defensive line as far as getting pressure. You know, I can't say I ain't no damn, you know, I'm not a professional, I'm not a coach, but just from the outside looking in, like, man, only 1 sack in 2 games, you know, what's going on? But we'll see, man. They'll get it together. You know, Kirby Smart and that coaching staff, they see exactly what we see, and they're going to get it together, and I hope they do. You know, they play South Carolina, and that's going to be a good idea of what they're really going to have to, you know, what they're really working with next week when they play South Carolina. So that's it, man. That's the top 10 results. And I'm glad that you sit here and watch it with me. But that's what it is, man. Y'all take care.